Hi everybody, Gun here, and I went to the Tokyo Game Show to see Battlefield 4. Now I would love to show you footage that looked like this, but that wasn't allowed. Damn it! So after having to fight my way through the crowds of people, and more people, and even more people than I've ever encountered before, and I live in Tokyo, the best I was able to do was just wait in line. Wait in line for over 2 hours, but what seemed like an eternity, to get my hand on these things. And then I find out I'm not allowed to take gameplay video, so instead I have these kind of shots. Isn't this awesome? This pan, don't worry, I kinda was able to sneak a few shots of spectator mode in there. Now if only the people who were running spectator mode kept it interesting for everybody who watched it, that would have been awesome. But hey, at least the booth babes were super hot. The map we were given at the Tokyo Game Show was the Seige of Shanghai, but it wasn't what we saw at E3, it was actually Obliteration, which I think we saw at the Gamescom, so a little mix of everything, and we got to run around trying to set an objective, and you can see that when you get the bomb, you're a big fat target there, and spectator mode follows you around like a paparazzi, getting right up in your face, and you're not able to even buy a cup of coffee without that spectator camera looking right into your wallet. It was that close, and of course didn't make for some compelling watching for the spectators involved, but you know, you take what you can get when you go to an event like this. Now I got in there shortly after the doors opened at 10 because I was lined up early. But even when I got there and I got to the dice booth to line up to play this game, I was given a ticket that said I don't get to play till 12:30, so I had to wait 2 hours. So what I did was pick up my ticket, step away, wait 10 minutes, and go back in line, pick up a second ticket, which meant that I got to play the game at 2:10. So I got to play it twice during the day, but of course I had to wait around at the dice booth or wherever else. Now I saw a lot of Obliteration gameplay while I was waiting the 2+ hours to play this game, and it seemed like in almost every game, if there was a bomb set, the first one, it was always this one. And you could watch these guys, you know, they'd lie there like this, and they'd set the bomb, and of course it would blow up and take them with it. They didn't realize that they were standing too close, but this was the bomb that always got set first, so if you're playing at home in a couple months, just go right there. But oh yeah, I'm not supposed to show you this footage. Instead, I'm supposed to show you shots that look like this. Everybody's having a good time, except for those people with broken controllers, but I'll talk about that maybe later. Now while previous shows got to play on PC, we actually got to play on the PlayStation 4, which was the first, and you know what, everybody's excited, and that guy, you know what, he's overwhelmed, and like he's speechless. Look at that guy, he doesn't know what to say. So 10 minutes before start time I lined up. You can see they're getting the machines already, but before I can play, I gotta go through a briefing.
Alright people, listen up. You've been selected to take part in a live fire training exercise. You'll be divided into 2 teams representing Russian and Chinese military forces. Today, you'll be participating in an obliteration style exercise. Your team's objective is to obliterate the enemy's targets before they obliterate yours. You destroy hostile targets by picking up a highly explosive bomb that randomly spawns close to the middle of the map, detonated on any enemy target to blow it up. Now the bomb is picked up by simply walking over it. The bomb can be picked up by either team, so be quick or be ready to defend your targets and try to claim the bomb by killing the enemy soldier carrying the payload. You can transport the bomb in vehicles, however it can only be planted on the enemy target while you're on foot. Only one bomb exists at any one time during the battle. Once detonated, a new bomb will spawn shortly after. You win by obliterating all enemy targets or by having more targets than your enemy at the end of the round. To achieve victory, you need to dominate on all fronts: land, air, and sea. Alright, now that you know the situation, introduction, let's get into combat training. Once you're on the field, you'll be presented with 4 classes to choose from: support, engineer, recon, and assault. The assault class is versatile, giving you the ability to heal fellow soldiers and revive fallen comrades. Engineers are vehicle specialists. They can both take down enemy vehicles and repair their own. But if you prefer laying down heavy cover fire and replenishing your squad's ammunition, support class is for you. Lastly, the recon class specializes in eliminating targets through the lens of their scope. Each class has its own advantages and equipment, so choose wisely and play to your strengths. Once you choose your class, you'll be deployed at your team's primary base. As you take capture points, you'll have the advantage of being able to deploy there as well, placing you closer to enemy front lines. Your team will be divided into squads of 2 to 5 soldiers. On your minimap, your squad will be displayed in green, other teammates in blue, and enemies in red. You'll have the ability to deploy to squad mate's immediate location, which is highly effective when your teammate needs quick support. And if your squad mate is in a vehicle with an additional empty seat, you'll deploy directly into that vehicle and jump right into the action. Alright guys, it's up to you now. Remember, an army is only as strong as its weakest soldier. Support each other, give them hell, and glory will be yours on the battlefield.
Of course I'm ready. I've been here for 2 hours. Now there's some Battlefield veterans here playing this game. You could tell by how they played it, but of course everybody had the same problem, and that is they were playing on North American machines. The menus were all in English, but also the X and O buttons in the PlayStation 4 were mixed up, because in Japan, X means batsu, bad. Of course you don't want it, which means cancel, and circle means, you know, ping pong, yes, that's what you want. So normally you would say circle for yes and X for no, but it's different on the North American machine. It's backwards, and so people were like trying to flip through the menus and change their guns, and just they kept choosing something and backing out and choosing something and backing out. But finally they got in there and they got to play, they got to run around, and what I noticed is that a large number of the players just wanted to get to the top of this skyscraper. You know, the objective you can see is blinking over there. These guys, they're running to the elevators en masse, like groups of them. In one game, I think almost every player on the map went to these elevators. There wasn't enough room in there for them all. They had to wait and go up again, and all they would do is they would go up to the top of the map, and they would get to the top of the skyscraper, and then they would just jump off. And of course, spectator mode guys loved it. They would focus on them. You can see here, okay, here we go. Yeah, look, what? See, why is that guy up there? Why is the bomb up there? And then everybody had to watch the guys jump off the building and parachute this long drop all the way down to the bottom. But oh yeah, I'm not supposed to show you this stuff. So instead I'll talk over the Seige of Shanghai trailer, because that's the map I played on, that's what I saw, and hey look, here's the elevator, everybody's inside trying to go to the top, and that must be the guy I was watching earlier today. My first thoughts on the Obliteration game mode, well, it's what Capture the Flag should be. On Battlefield 3, Capture the Flag is on the same maps, they're all the same size as when you normally play Conquest and everything else, and it turns into a bit of a, shall we say, clusterfuck, because people start camp and spawn, they can get behind you and take their vehicles. On Obliteration, you're basically dropping pretty much onto these objectives all the time. The maps are quite small, and with these maps, I found, at least in Seige of Shanghai, they start out really open, and then when that big tower comes down, it seems to come down maybe after the first or second bomb is planted and destroyed. What happens is the building falls down, and a bomb spawns right on the rubble of where that building was. And then basically everybody runs there, and because tanks and armored vehicles cannot get to that point, basically it becomes a meat grinder. Everybody's shooting each other, people are dying, nobody advances the bomb, and it's going to be tough to win. Talking about weapons though, they're good, they're awesome. I used weapons I'm familiar with, but it seemed like the recoil was more pronounced, a little tougher to handle. But I think with the variety of attachments that they are giving you, you'll be able to put something on there that you'll be able to counter the recoil enough that you'll learn to adjust, and then you're good to go. So I'm just waiting for the beta to drop in a couple weeks, and then I'm waiting for the end of October when I get my hands on the PC version of this, and I'll be going gung-ho, although I'm not too sure how much Obliteration I'm going to be playing, but of course I'm going to play everything. BF4 at TGS was awesome.